Let's do it.
All right. Hey guys, my name is Evan. I'm speaking on behalf of Group 3, Wall Street Journal Project. So for this assignment, we chose to highlight the contemporary leadership approaches of the Fiat Chrysler CEO, Sergio Marchionne, based on the article, Sergio Marchionne, who melded Chrysler and Fiat, dies at the age of 66. This article basically is a celebration and a tribute to the life of Sergio Marchionne, who recently passed away, surprisingly, from a shoulder surgery complications. So in 2004, Mr. Marchionne earned the title as Fiat's CEO. By the 2008 financial crisis, however, he had the opportunity to buy out Chrysler, which he capitalized on. This merger combined two of the weakest companies in the auto industry and turned them into a profit-generating company. After this merger, his original plan was for Fiat to build a compact car for Chrysler that was able to get 40 miles to the gallon. This was called the Dodge Dart. However, this became a very did not sell very well. So he realized that this was an early indication that consumers were moving away from sedans and into larger vehicles. He responded to this by pivoting the company strategy to focus more on the Jeep Sport utility vehicles and Ram pickup trucks. In order to revive these two failing companies, the self-proclaimed workaholic kept a 7 days a week pace that included frequent trips from Michigan to Italy. Despite his company power, Mr. Marchionne chose to work alongside his employees as well by placing his office next to the technology center instead of in the imposing tower for senior management in Michigan. During his last 4 years of his tenure at the Fiat Chrysler, the company's stock price quadrupled in value. Very deservingly, Mr. Marchionne became, quote, one of the most formidable and successful CEOs in the industry's history. So in this video, we will highlight the different types of contemporary leadership approaches that are mentioned in our textbook, and then focus on two of the styles Mr. Marchionne utilized to build Fiat Chrysler. And so next, I'm going to pass it off to Shelby.
Thanks, Evan. A servant leader is defined as a leader who serves others by working to fulfill followers' needs and goals, as well as to achieve the organization's larger mission. While Sergio exhibits other leadership styles possibly more predominantly, he does show the core values of a servant leader. Sergio works with his employees on the job physically instead of sitting in an office far away barking orders. Dawson states in this article, quote, instead of taking an office in an imposing tower for senior management on the campus of Chrysler's headquarters in Auburn Hills, Michigan, he set up his desk, he being Sergio, set up his desk on the fourth floor of the adjoining technology center. In order to serve his employees, Sergio found it important to be physically with them when his travel schedule did allow. While the article never explicitly says that this act was to fulfill his followers' needs and goals, I think that this is physically innate. This is inherently innate to that action. The other key characteristic of a servant leader is to relentlessly work towards the vision. The other key characteristic of a servant leader is to relentlessly work towards the organization's mission and vision, and relentlessly did Sergio work. Dawson stated that Sergio had set a grueling 7-day-a-work pace, flying back and forth from Italy to the U.S. on a private plane, all to accomplish his vision of merging the auto industry's two weakest links, Fiat and Chrysler. Next, I'll pass it on to Sam with authentic leadership.
All right, thank you, Shelby. So Marchionne demonstrated several aspects of the authentic leadership style. First off, he leads with passion. He works 7 days a week to build a company that can be a global leader in sustainability and help the world progress. His solid values are also very apparent in a memo that he sent to his employees that said, the only way I can look at myself in the mirror every morning is if I know that sustainability is part of the very fabric of our business, and that we are helping create the conditions on which a positive future can emerge for our company, our children, and humanity as a whole. Marcione wanted to get the job done the right way, with the right morals and values. Lastly, he connects with others, as seen in how he flattened the organizational structure of Fiat Chrysler and declining a spot in the corporate penthouse. Marcione sought to empower his employees and create a culture of improving the world one day at a time. And then here you can see a chart that shows all of the different aspects of being an authentic leader, and Marcione definitely exhibits these. And next, I will pass it off to Vanessa.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. I wanted to talk a little bit about the article and how it showed level 5 leadership. So what is level 5 leadership? Level 5 leadership is characterized by almost complete lack of ego, focusing on the humility part of the individual or the leader, coupled with a fierce resolve to do what's best for the organization or for an organization. There's 5 levels within this leadership approach, and each level kind of talks about the individual, but level 1 focuses on the capabilities of the individual, and you can see the chart in the PowerPoint, kind of what each level represents. The individual level kind of has the talent, skills, and knowledge. Level 2 talks about contributing as a team member, as well as an individual, but being able to kind of focus more on the teamwork aspect within the organization. Level 3 focuses on being a competent manager. Level 4 reflects on being an effective leader. And the final level expresses the importance of building excellence through dedication and humility as an executive. Throughout Sergio Marcione's life, he represented these different components in leadership. As an individual, he had the knowledge, experience within the industry to continue challenging the auto industry orthodoxy. He was confident enough in his skills and talent to transform a small company like Fiat into a strong competitor within the auto industry. One unique thing about Sergio was his office was among his own employees. I think we've all kind of touched this with our different slides. And I think that was important. It's important within this leadership approach because he was able to form that teamwork and to stay strong and competitive within the industry. Sergio was competent and an effective leader because he was able to foresee and build on his vision. He engineered a merger between 2 weak companies, Fiat and Chrysler, and made them a profit generator. To accomplish this, he had to work 24/7, which shows his commitment to his vision. As an effective leader, he stayed ahead of rivals on key automotive trends. Overall, Sergio was humble and ambitious for his company and not for himself. He was an effective executive that wore sweaters and jeans every day. And due to his excellent leadership skills, the auto industry is benefiting from his works. Most importantly, till this day, he's helping families be able to afford vehicles. So next, I will pass it on for the conclusion to Lee.
Hey everybody. Sergio Marcione was a leader that displayed several characteristics of the emerging contemporary leadership approaches. Through his leadership, he managed to pull Fiat and Chrysler from the brink of collapse. Successfully merging 2 dissimilar automotive companies into one was an enormous feat that would have proven impossible for most leaders. Through his excellent leadership, he not only accomplished that goal, but brought the company to new levels of success. Today, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles is worth nearly 10 times as much as when he took over. Mike Jackson, the chief executive of AutoNation, said Sergio had the courage to make very aggressive decisions, and if it went badly, he'd be totally accountable for it. This quote demonstrates the humility and acceptance of responsibility, self-discipline, solid values, and passion that are elements of level 5 leadership and authentic leadership. During his tenure at Fiat Chrysler, Sergio inspired his employees to new heights. Sergio put faith in his American workers, who at the time were dejected from years of losses and failures. By giving his employees the tools, resources, and support they needed, Sergio empowered them to create better vehicles than they had built in years. These actions demonstrate aspects of servant leadership. Sergio demonstrated interactive leadership and went out of his way to connect with even entry-level employees and give them the tools they needed to perform the best work they could. Sergio Marchionne was a transformative leader that brought back both Fiat and Chrysler from the brink of collapse. Through his use of contemporary leadership skills, he empowered his workforce to create better vehicles than they had in decades. That's it.